Time passes, but some things are not forgotten. There have been many wars in the history of the world, and some traumas have been encoded in the people's mind because of these wars. No state and nation remains enemies forever, but it is not easy to forget what has been done. The state mechanisms and diplomacy continues to exist as a result of years of accumulation. Therefore, even if citizens forget, the status apparatus does not forget the past. Following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, it is well remembered that Russia has committed many violations of the laws of the war at many points. Unfortunately, these illegalities could not be prevented immediately. Therefore, some Russian troops and commanders are remembered. The Ukrainian government has been keeping a close eye on these troops ever since. The rapid increase in Ukrainian counterattacks in recent days is seen as a result of the plans made since the beginning of the war. The Ukrainian army, which has not forgotten what the occupying Russian troops did in the Bucha region, took revenge for Bucha with the last operation organized. Let's analyze the Ukrainian army's revenge operation together. In recent days, the Ukrainian army's counterattack operations continue in every region at every hour. Ukraine's counteroffensive operations are used as an integral part of a long process. The Kiev administration, which has been following the process with great care since the beginning of the occupation, is now making its moves more forcefully. The unlawful interventions of the Russian army in the occupied territories had led everyone to deep concern. The behavior of the Russian army had to have a price. Even though the international system set penalties for Russia and Vladimir Putin, they were not satisfactory. From the very beginning, Ukrainian intelligence has been tracking Russian troops who violated the laws of war. The next target of the Ukrainian army, which carried out operations against its target in turn, was the Russian troops involved in the lawlessness in Bucha. Ukraine's revenge was taken with the air operation carried out in the region where Russian military personnel were stationed in Bucha. Many Russian personnel were killed by Ukrainian drones in a late-night Ukrainian operations in Pskov region. The majority of the Russian soldiers killed were from the unity previously stationed in Bucha. Many Russian equipment and combat vehicles were also destroyed. Ukrainian intelligence, which has been carefully tracking the Russian soldiers involved in the war crimes, has stated that revenge will be taken on each of them in turn. Ukrainian military intelligence spokesman Andriy Yusuf said that the attack destroyed 4 Russian aircraft and left 2 others badly damaged. The operation also dealt a major blow to the Russians' military logistics. It was stated that the destroyed Russian planes were the most important parts of the Russian military logistics. Pskov, located close to both Estonian and Latvian borders, is a home to the 76th Guards Air Assault Unit, considered one of the most professional units of the Russian army. The 76th Guard Air Assault Unit was the first front of the full-scale invasion of the Ukraine. Units of the 76th Guard Air Assault Unit, which took part in the northern invasion operations, committed war crimes in several Ukrainian towns, including Bucha. The Ukrainian army called this Russian unit of war criminals when they were least prepared. According to local sources, Russian soldiers were resting and sleeping during the attack. The Ukrainian army, on the other hand, was watching with excitement to carry out the operation it had been planning for a long time. Acting on the information obtained from Ukrainian intelligence, the Ukrainian army started to implement the operation plan. The operation, which was monitored by the commanders at the Ukrainian headquarters, started with the attack of the unmanned aerial vehicles. First of all, the strategic points were bombed and the Russian troops preparing for a counterattack were destroyed. After the successful operation, Ukrainian drones returned to their bases. According to information obtained, the Russian troops in the region had another mission. In a possible Russian invasion of NATO's eastern border, the 76th Guard Air Assault Unit would be deployed as a vanguard unit. For this reason, Ukraine's attack had also disturbed Russia's possible future plans. As the Ukrainian army continues its counterattack, new images from the front continue to emerge. A video shared on the internet in recent days has been watched by thousands of people. The content of the video includes a Ukrainian sniper neutralizing the Russian soldiers in his target. It is known that the Ukrainian snipers have been involved in effective missions since the beginning of the war. Snipers who call themselves ghost troops, are known as the biggest fear of soldiers in the Russian army. The video, which has been watched by thousands of people, belongs to one of the Ukrainian snipers. The Russian soldier is standing comfortably behind the bushes, unaware of what is about to happen, is knocked down by the sniper shot and then loses his life. The video once again shows the importance of these snipers in war. A momentary mistake of infantrymen who are vulnerable to snipers can lead to fatal consequences. As a result, there is a great low morale in the troops. The Ukrainian army's attack continued to inflict heavy damage on Russian troops. The Russian army is trying to take new measures to prevent this damage. There are many Russian weapons that have been destroyed in recent days. The loss cost of these weapons is worth millions of dollars. It is becoming increasingly difficult for the Russian economy to replace these losses. Ukrainian troops are increasing their attacks on Moscow's air bases and spending resources on developing new weapons. In response, Russia is camouflaging its strategic bombers. The satellite images obtained by Ukraine shows Russia's camouflaging many of its military vehicles. The Russian military's camouflage is intended to confuse the targeting and navigation systems on Ukrainian cruise missiles. It is believed that Russia has taken these precautionary measures as a result of the Ukrainian army's superior success in drone attacks. Kiev is known to have destroyed Russia's Black Sea flagship Moskva with its Neptune anti-ship cruise missile. Ukraine also used a new weapon in recently destroyed Russian air defense systems. Alexei Danilov, Secretary of National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine, said after the attack that the weapon used in the attack in Crimea was a new and completely modern missile that worked flawlessly. Following this statement, the Russian military investigated the new missile used in the attack, but failed to obtain any information. As the Ukrainian army's counterattacks are accelerating, Russia's attempts to strike back and being successfully thwarted by the Ukrainian defense. In the coming days, the Ukrainian army is expected to make new gains in the southern and eastern front. The Russian army, on the other hand, is worried about meeting the Ukrainian offensive. What do you think about the operation in which the Ukrainian army avenged Bucha? How do you assess the Ukrainian intelligence's tracking of war criminals serving in the Russian army? What do you think has been the psychological impact of the Ukrainian snipers on the Russian army? How do you assess Russia's camouflage of military vehicles? What gains do you expect from the Ukrainian army on the front line in the coming days? We value your opinion. Please share it with us.